Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to Ashapura Minechem Ltd. Q3 FY26 earnings conference call hosted by Adfactors. This conference call may contain forward-looking statements about the company, which are based on the beliefs, opinions, and expectations of the company as on the date of this call. These statements are not the guarantees of future performance and involve risks and uncertainties that are difficult to predict. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during this conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star, then zero on your touch-tone phone. Please note that this call is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Chetan Shah, Promoter Director of Ashapura Minechem Ltd. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you. Hello, friends. Good evening. This is our third investors call, and I'd like to welcome all our stakeholders on this investors call to review our quarterly performance. I also like to appreciate our team, including Manan, Ashish, and Sachin, who have maintained this momentum to ensure that you receive all information on regular basis. I agree that our quarterly results are par with our previous quarter, but certainly it is slightly below the expectations. The prolonged monsoon in Guinea had impacted our operations and affecting our overall performance. We have not achieved our expected volume, which we have planned for quarter 3. It's not that we had sufficient commitment, but because of the climatic changes and some logistic difficulties because of changing climates, we could not push that volume. It's not any other reasons. There is no lack of business, or there is no lack of orders, or not lack of any shipping arrangements, etc. But we could not reach to the expected volume, and that's affected the performance. At the same time, our team is working diligently to mitigate such effects and get back to things on track. I am sure the outcome should reflect in our forthcoming quarters. I can tell more about the Guinea operations, but before that, I will just tell you that about the India also. The Indian operations also have seen some headwinds, mainly due to volatility in the raw material cost and the climatic changes. At the same time, you could see that's a remarkable improvement in our EBITDA margin. And this is mainly because of, during the quarter, we have not paid any kind of a substantial damage, the maintained consistent shipping freight, and also our new tie-up with the mining and logistic contractors with the China Railway. These factors help to improve the EBITDA margin. Besides that, we have taken several new initiatives will help to maintain the consistent cost structure. This means the improvement in volume in future. I mean that the improvement in the volume in the future and stabilize the market price will create many more new records in coming quarters. We are quite optimistic for the future. I know the current market price of the bauxite might be concern for all. It is our concern too. But the price in the last few days is stabilized at this level. And I think now it's the time there will be some revival in the price, and that has to go towards north We are waiting for the Chinese Spring Festival time, Chinese New Year time, and after that, we could see that there will be some upward trend in the bauxite price. But at the current price also, we are fairly comfortable to continue our export activities. The main reasons for the drop in the bauxite price are mainly because of some of the suspended leases in Guinea has started their operation. There is another factor is the US-China long-term trade deal is yet to be concluded. So that is all the trade deal is on the short-term basis. They're waiting for some trade deal to happen on long-term basis, which will again push the requirement and the demand for the aluminum metal. Another factor is the China government has stopped the approval for the new smelters in China. They want the Chinese entrepreneurs to look anywhere in the world to set up the new smelters. It's related with aluminum or copper and not within the China. So Chinese entrepreneurs are looking for some new opportunities, and this is the reason the new upcoming alumina refineries have the excess supplies of the alumina, and that has also given some pressure on the bauxite price. If you look at that, how the bauxite price will go into the future and what are the reasons to be. If you look overall the picture, the Guinea is the only country who has is a viable or commercially viable country to supply bauxite to the rest of the world. The Guinea will cross 200 million ton exports in this year, and currently, you won't see any other country in the world who can replace Guinea now or in next 10 years. So Guinea will remain in you can say in a very strong positions for coming many years. There's no excess supplies is coming from any other part other than Australia that they supplies about 40 million tons of bauxites. And there's no other countries like India or Brazil or Indonesia that are supplying any major exports either to China or any other countries in the world. So looking to these factors, Guinea will remain in a very predominant conditions to continue to supply of bauxite. And during the course of time, you have taken several new initiatives. That's a long-term tie-up with the mining and logistics company, long-term tie-up with the ocean freight. That will be long-term sustainability for the Ashapura for as far as the costing or you can say the cost structure is concerned. We are able to keep all our cost in control. Volume growth is very certain, and we have a lot of optimism on the price stabilizations, and reasonable level will put Ashapura in much better league. As you also know that Ashapura has hold the license for iron ore mining. Currently, our iron ore has been we are supplying to the local beneficiation plant, and now our quality is fairly established and stabilized with the beneficiation plant, and we expect some substantial volume during this year. Of course, this is a local supply basis, and we will continue to supply to this beneficiation plant whose requirement is very, very large. So we will have some more additions of the business in Guinea besides bauxites. So overall pictures looks quite interesting. And we see that whatever we could not have able to achieve during the last quarters, we'll be able to make up in coming quarters without any much problem. I really appreciate all your interest in our current activities, and we will continue to brief you on time to time. Thank you very much.
Sir, should we open the floor for questions now?
I think we will have a small address by our CFO and then some closing remarks, and then we can do that. So over to you, Ashish bhai.
Thank you, Manan, and good afternoon, everyone. Coming to financial performance for quarter 3 and 9 months for 25-26. So first of all, let's see quarter 3 numbers. So consolidated revenue from operations for quarter 3 stood at 960.4 crore, which is more or less par, to be precise, 0.8% quarter-on-quarter growth on the back of consistent growth in Guinea compared to quarter 1. EBITDA for quarter 3 stood at 143 crore, which is a growth of 8.3% quarter-on-quarter. Margin is 14.9%, which was 13.9% in quarter 2. This was mainly driven by reduced demurrage charges, enhanced cost efficiency, and like that. PBT and before exceptional item for quarter 3 stood at 89.31 crore, growing over 10% compared quarter-on-quarter. And margin was 9.3%, which was 8.5% in quarter 2. Basic EPS stood at 8.82 for the quarter. Guinea contributed around 76% to revenue in quarter 3, and India contributed 24.2%. Coming to 9 months of 26, consolidated revenue stood at around 3,268 crore, reflecting growth of almost 50% year-on-year. EBITDA came to around 463 crore, which is 52% up compared to year-on-year, with EBITDA margin of 14.2%, which was less than 14 in last 9 months of the same year. Profit before tax and exceptional item for 9 months was rupees 303 crore, growing 37% year-on-year, and PBT margin at 9.3% versus 10% for last 9 months of 25. And basic EPS for 9 months stood at 30.43. One exceptional note which we have given in the published result also was one-time impact on our P&L because of labor code impact. Effective November 25, new labor code revised the definition of wages for the purpose of computing employee benefits. Following detailed assessment, company has recognized an incremental impact of 1.77 crore at standalone level and 4.56 crore in the consolidated result as an exceptional item. So that's all from the number point of view. I would request Manan to explain the dynamics of the...
Yeah, just to share, thanks Ashish bhai. Just to share some of the closing remarks on our long-term plan. We would like to reiterate that we are very confident of achieving our long-term volume target of 15 million tons. This is for the 27-28, as we have stated. We are confident of that. While currently the bauxite prices are lower than our expectation, we expect them to stabilize and gradually pick up. And we also see that our company has put a lot of efforts to optimize the cost. So we remain comfortable to make the shipments even at current prices. So we expect that while there is an impact of price, we expect that the increase in volume to more than offset that impact. And regarding to the India business, we remain confident of our long-term vision and goal to improving profitability and sales through the addition of value-added products, and company remains focused on this goal in each of its major segments. Thank you all for being with us on this call, and now we can open the floor for questions.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and one on their touch-tone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and two. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. Our first question comes from the line of Kamlesh Bagmar from Lotus Asset Managers. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. Manan bhai, just one question on the part of Genie operation. So what is the cost of, like, say, production or the cost to the delivery of bauxite?
Okay. I think that we have commented on this cost structure on earlier calls also. But I think broadly the cost is a breakup into the three major categories you can consider. That we have the seafaring cost, we have the the transshipment cost, and then we have the mining and the logistics to the port cost. So broadly, these are the major costs which we are having. As we have mentioned that our previous quarter EBITDA has come in around $10.5. So we expect that broadly some of this cost may be slightly elastic with the selling price, but most of the cost will remain relatively fixed, or it will gain the efficiency over time. So while giving current complete breakup on the call may not be possible, but we still expect that our costing to be below the current prices of the bauxite. So for now, what we can mention is that our costing would be below even the current price of bauxite. However, detailed breakup would take time. The major components, like I mentioned, are sea freight, mining and logistics, and the transshipment costs. So that's what I can offer for now.
So, like, say, it is $10.5 EBITDA per ton in this quarter. So what was the realization?
I think at current bauxite prices, probably the realization would moderate quite a bit.
No, I am talking about the Q3. How much was the realization Q3?
Realization is $10.5. That's the EBITDA. Do you want the total number? That is our volume. Declared volume is 1.39 and the EBITDA is $10. So about $14.5 million.
I am asking that what is the revenue there? You have just
revenue. I was realization. Sorry.
Yeah.
Revenue. I think so. We have given the in the segment-wise breakup. We have given that the total turnover from our Guinea business has come 729 crores. Per ton, the approx price would be around $70. I mean, I'm converting the FOB also into the tentative CIF cost, but our average index, that would be around $70.
Okay. $70 is FOB or
CIF China. The equivalent would be $70.
Okay. And any update on the iron ore business there? Like, say, what is this?
So iron ore business, as we mentioned last time, we were having some trial activity with this beneficiation plant, which has progressed quite well. It's still, we feel, too soon to say, but we are very hopeful that we would be having a very clear projection for iron ore at the end of the quarter four, that what can be the the kind of volume and the kind of realization which we can expect. I think we should be in a good position to comment on that at the end of quarter four. But I think the general idea is that we think that our trials are going quite well with the partner on the beneficiation plant, and we are at least confident that there will be a long-term iron ore business with them.
Okay. And you have highlighted about the FY28 volume guidance on bauxite. What we are targeting for this year, FY27?
I think that somewhere we have not given out a target basically, but we do think that it could be a linear growth, as I've mentioned many times that, okay, we did up in the previous year about 3 or 3.5 million tons and 15 million tons. So we expect like a linear ramp up, over the year on year and that way. So from 3 million to 15 million with the three milestones in the middle, so you can add it up how it comes by. But we are expecting a linear growth between 3 last year and 15 as a target for 27-28.
Okay. Okay. Great. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question comes from the line of Naitik Mohata from Sequent Investments. Please go ahead.
Hi, good evening, sir, and thank you for the opportunity. So my first question is, I think so we have discussed about this demurrage charges in our press release as well as our opening remarks. So can you help us quantify what were these demurrage charges that were paid in quarter two, like the amount for it?
So I think that, we're not currently offering that kind of data, but I can tell you that one of the reasons we were able to increase our EBITDA even compared to quarter two, quarter three has a slightly lower pricing. Still, we were able to improve our EBITDA. So definitely, I can say a good part of that contribution. I would even say maybe at about 20, 25, 30% of the improvement actually comes from the fact that our turnaround times for the shipments were much faster than quarter two. So there is a significant improvement, and there may be still scope for a little bit more improvement as far as the demurrage is concerned, as our execution capabilities are improving. But I would say that it is a good part of the improvement in the EBITDA has come from our ability to turn around these vessels faster.
Fair, sir. So, but sir, at the same time, I believe that quarter three volumes were not as per up to the mark as, what we were expecting or what the management was expecting as well. So would that warrant another quarter of demurrage charges that might become a problem in coming quarters?
Okay, so I think that the reason really was the prolonged monsoon, and we have done our shipment planning accordingly. So despite having the little bit of the numbers, our own internal targets, we can safely say were missed for quarter three, but despite that, we had an improvement in demurrage. So our planning on the vessels was probably far better. I think quarter four also should see this kind of a turnaround or better. So because quarter four would have obviously no monsoon impact. I think our overall cost structure now is quite consistent and fairly fixed as we are stabilizing into this journey. So demurrage being one of those costs has also improved.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. Our future freight contracts at the load port, we are now working on CQD terms. So in CQD terms, there is no demurrage is applicable. So this is a new development. The shipping companies agreed on CQD terms. That means that all the loading is without any demurrage, and this is a good benefit for the company, and we can avoid and they can plan the shipment in such a way that they don't have the loss and we also don't have the loss. And there's a very big international capsize carrier.
That's very positive to hear, sir. So secondly, on the pricing environment regarding bauxite, so there has been a lot of headwinds regarding the pricing for bauxite, be it increased inventories at the alumina refineries in China or increased production out of Guinea. So at these prices, we are expecting that the prices to stabilize, but at current prices, how sustainable would our EBITDA per ton of $9-10 would be?
So we definitely expect, as I tried mentioning earlier, we do expect that EBITDA will moderate. As you can understand that our previous quarter, we mentioned average pricing was around 70, and currently pricing going around is 60 or 61 or something like this. So there would be an impact, but we still expect to be, first of all, we are definitely confident of being EBITDA positive. That's the first point. I think that there can be a moderation, at least maybe there may be a 40-50% moderation, which I expect that may come in the EBITDA. But we expect that the volumes to offset the per ton kind of the reduced EBITDA. We expect the volume growth to support us in this phase, which we are expecting from now on. But yeah, we do think that there may be a 40-50% moderation in EBITDA.
Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question comes from the line of Dhananjay Bagrodia from Alchemy. Please go ahead.
Hi. Maybe I missed this. Just a couple of things. A, broadly, what CapEx numbers are we thinking for the next few years? And B, what is our cost of production versus some of our peers in terms of the cost curve?
Okay. I think CapEx basically might be the way that we look at it is that basically in Guinea, we feel that most of our CapEx is completed. We have we are expecting that maybe compared to the CapEx we have done, another 20-25% more CapEx may come through over the next year or year and a half or so.
Mm-hmm.
But what we think we can highlight is that the bulk of the CapEx is done, and also having good partners with us has reduced the CapEx burden on us to some degree. So that's the comment what I can offer on the future CapEx as far as Guinea is concerned. I think India will also see some CapEx which we are finalizing. We are looking at expanding a couple of our business capacities, but that may be a little bit less significant in number than even the Guinea business. But we do feel that in Guinea, most of our CapEx is on the way, and that's why we are focused on ramping up volumes. Your second question was on the cost curve, that where are we? I would like to think that probably we are somewhere, we have, between the two deposits, probably we would be somewhere in the middle of the curve.
Okay.
I think that there are the.
So what would your number be? Cost of production? What would your cost be?
So, currently, like we mentioned, that the price was about $70 and our EBITDA was $10. So about $60 would have been our total cost CIF basis, right? In that, maybe almost the $25 would be the kind of ocean freight. So balance is our cost, in which the major cost really is the logistics. The mining cost is never much. It's like $2 or $3 kind of a mining cost.
Okay.
So, and then there are also more about $5 of government duties, taxes, royalty on the bauxite which we export per ton basis, etc. Going forward, we expect that so last quarter costing would have been around 60, but going forward we think that okay, there may be some reduction in our operating costs or other efficiencies which we expect, because like we said, we did only the 1.3 million in the last quarter. Assuming that we are able to ramp up the volumes, what we are looking at, some level of cost should drop further. What it may come in the next quarter, that we'll have to see, but we are confident of having costing below $60 definitely for the next quarter.
Understood.
As far as the cost curve is concerned, I think that there are many, there are mine owners there, but they are operating since many years. So we have also got an advantage on the quality of our bauxite, having the new mines, and if one of our mines has a really high quality bauxite. So when the pricing typically may drop like this, so our higher quality resources and reserves would help us to offset some of that pricing impact also. So that is an advantage we have being a new player in Guinea, that we have quite a high quality resources also with us in one of our locations. So in all our locations, but currently we are focusing on one of them, that some of the shipment we can improve the quality and manage to even get a premium.
Fair. And in terms of exports from Guinea, where do you all usually sell to? Just in terms of
It's almost all to China.
okay, all 100% to China. Okay, fine. That is understood. And CapEx, you said you're already done with. Okay, fantastic. And okay, done. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question comes from the line of Surendra Kumar Khemka from Khemka Office. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Hello. Sir, any disturbance in mining in Africa? I have reading a report that some disturbance going on in Ghana. So any disturbance in Guinea also?
Well, we actually mentioned that some suspended mines has reopened. So I think that at least on the ground of it, conditions are good for the mining activity. Currently, we don't see any kind of disturbances at any major level.
No. You are saying that opening of the mines, but I am saying that some mines are closing in Ghana for the disturbance.
Currently in Guinea, there is no such activity or that kind of response from the government. Yeah.
May I know that?
One note we'd like to add that currently it's our feeling or our view that the current government is quite stable and quite proactive also. So we think that at least the business environment is quite good.
In the last 2-3 months, the price of the aluminum has gone up. But why the price of bauxite is going down? Due to the oversupply?
So as we mentioned that the point is the price of aluminum has gone up in part because there is some restriction on the new capacities of smelters in China being one of the reasons. And I think a couple of other reasons also highlighted by my dad on the call, which also includes that we mentioned that couple of mines has opened up in Guinea, which was suspended earlier. So it's a mix of factors. However, we are optimistic about price stabilizing and maybe gradually pulling upwards after maybe the Chinese New Year.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question comes from the line of Kriti Tripathi from NVS Brokerage. Please go ahead. Kriti, your line has been unmuted. Please go ahead with your question.
I think we can get back to her.
Sure. Our next question is from the line of Daisy Barocha from Sanghvi Family Office. Please go ahead.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
So my first question is, China has imposed 45 metric ton aluminum smelting capacity. So this policy on incremental aluminum production and consequently on China's bauxite consumption. So do you see this acting as a structural headwind to bauxite prices over medium term?
So definitely there is a new normal for the time being. We see a couple of things which also mentioned earlier, that we see that many of these Chinese companies are looking at investing overseas for the smelter capacity. So globally smelters may come up maybe in Middle East, for example, or some of the other locations that there may be a growth. But we do think that the aluminium consumption, we expect that there may be a continuous growth in the consumption of aluminium, and therefore the smelter capacities will continue to grow. But maybe the idea is that they may not grow for the time being in China. But we do think that outside of China, we think that new capacities may come up. This is our view. So maybe particularly we think in Middle East you may hear or see something soon. As far as the pricing is concerned, yes, for now this is a kind of new normal, but we have to see that after the Chinese New Year, we are optimistic that there can be some improvements. At the same time, we are working on our cost structure to be able to be reasonably profitable at this level also.
Okay, thank you, sir. There is another question that the bauxite prices recently corrected around $60 per ton in February. So what could be the driver for that? And from current levels, how do you see pricing trends evolving? Like what key demand supply dynamics that you could see?
I think we've covered this couple of times on the call. We mentioned the resumption of mines, and we also mentioned the temporary halt of increase in smelting capacity in China. Only I think the comment is that we feel that things may improve, if there is some geopolitical stability and maybe, after the Chinese New Year. But I think we have already covered the reasons for the fall and also potential reasons for stabilization. So I think, I don't think I have anything much new to add on that. I think we just want to wait for the Chinese New Year and see if there is some stabilization in this US-China policy, which will have some kind of an impact on manufacturing industry in China.
Okay, thank you, sir. And one last question, sir. According to you, what bauxite price level would you consider the business approaching economic flow? Like beyond what threshold you would reassess your capacity?
I think that given that this price crash of bauxite has happened probably within the last month and a half or so, if you go to see, it's very early to comment on what would be the new normal. However, we are optimistic that we don't think prices will go below this level. So I can at least offer that much, that prices I don't think should go below the current levels. I do believe that this is some sort of a floor, because we also see the costing of the other companies who are working in Guinea, and we think this is a good level for the stabilization. Maybe in the medium term, I think a few dollars from here upwards could be the new norm. Maybe we believe about 64, 65, but nowadays commodity markets are quite difficult to predict. As I think world over this is going on, that there is a lot of volatility in all commodity prices. But at least we feel that floor can be very close to where we are.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. That's from my side.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, in order to ensure that management is able to address questions from all the participants, please limit your questions to 2 per participant. Our next question comes from the line of Pushkar Jain from Milli Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Thanks for the opportunity. I just wanted to ask about you mentioned that there are long-term contracts with ocean vessels. So, what percentage of those are fixed rate multi-year contracts versus how much we remain exposed to, bauxite index or changes in the freight rates?
So these are fixed in the sense that we have a long-term agreement. When I say long-term, I think it's like 12 months, okay, not maybe 3 years or something. But this long-term agreement is giving us an edge in terms of the rate. Maybe there may be some variable with the price of the freight index, but it is basically at a rate lower than the market rate. So it will remain lower than the market rate, but there may be, obviously it will vary as per the market rate. It will vary as per the market rate, but there is some discount in this freight compared to the going market rate. So this is giving us a significant support, and this is also one of our, at least quite a lot of our volume is covered under this contract. So while the rate will vary, it is below the index rate, and against that the shipping company is also getting a sustained business. So the agreement is that the volumes are committed, the prices can move around, but in basic idea is that it will be a little bit below the index price through the year.
Okay, so only if there is huge fluctuation.
And that is a significant part of our total targeted business for next year is under this contract. So we will be having some advantage in freight compared to the market for this coming year, and that will also help us with our cost.
Okay, but if okay, got it. And second question is about the iron ore. So what is the average Fe content now of the ore that is being currently extracted?
Correct. So basically, we are supplying to the beneficiation plant. So our grade is a very medium grade, which is why it requires a beneficiation. Approximately, we are around 45 to 50.
Okay.
And but this is beneficiable, right? Like it's improvable. There are some iron ore grades which are maybe higher, but they are not possible to improve easily. Ours is fairly relatively easy to improve. So our, I think focus would be on the volume. There may be a recovery percentage or a yield percentage at the beneficiation plant, but the point is that all of it is exportable. Only there may be the few kilometers of distance where we may be sending some quantity to the plant, and over there may be some yield. But eventually, all of this will be going as a really good quality iron ore when it's exported. So
Right.
while the quality of sounds 45 to 50, but it is easily upgradable. It crosses 60, 61 after beneficiation. So it's just the play on the yield.
Okay. And the volumes in FY27 we expect from iron ore would be?
So we have not commented on that very consciously. We are still doing trials to understand that, what is the viability for the partner who we have on this project, but we should be able to comment on that at the end of this quarter.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
We are optimistic that this will be a fairly substantial quantity, even in the context of the Guinea business. But exact figures or in terms of what kind of volume target we can see, I think we should be able to definitely comment on that at the end of this quarter.
Right. Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Our next question comes from the line of Udit Mittal from Mittal Family Office. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So I just wanted to understand, are you facing any competition from the other players? Like, are there any order cancellation or anything like that?
I do want to take that. They are asking if we are seeing that any order cancellation or heavy competition from the other players.
No, not really. There is no any order cancellation. Yeah. And there's no actually looking this thing, there is no much new competition also. That we have our volume, we already have our customers for that. Only the price to be negotiated on basis of the index price. So do not much concern about the volume which we were able to achieve, and the price also. It's definitely has a link with the index. Yeah. So we don't see that there will be any impact of the cancellation of business or any stringent competition.
And are the customers delaying the contract or something like that due to the price fall?
Not really. Not really. See, if you ask me, then it would be China is being the largest importer of bauxite in the world. And sometime, it's been some kind of mutual understanding among the customers or among the receivers to play some kind of strategy to maintain the price. Because one time the bauxite price has touched $120 also. So now it is some understanding among the major producers or something. So that they try to control it, but there is no. They also understand that the cost structures. They are very familiar with the operations in Guinea. So there is no much impact on this thing. And we, as Manan mentioned, that it is already a floor. It's not going to be now below this kind of numbers.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, in the interest of time, please limit your questions to one per participant. If you have more questions, please rejoin the queue. Our next question is from the line of Vardhaman Sancheti from AVS Group. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. What is your floor level below which you need to reconsider the production volumes?
Yes, that what is our floor price at which we may choose to not operate if it goes, say, below $50
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah. If it is below $52, maybe then we have to reconsider our stand. Otherwise, we'll be very comfortable till that number. So because there is a different kind of situation. One of our mining concession is very close to the port, where the viability at even this price is also possible, and one concession is slightly away from the port. So when we have to decide that what kind of compositions or we have to or to product mix we have to do. Otherwise, viability, the business viability below 52 is definitely a concern.
All right.
So I just want to add on that we do have, some ability to mitigate this, like whether it is through the freight or it is through the managing the, we have the two current active resources by managing the distribution between the resources which we have. We also have a scope of, improving the quality to get the premium over the market price. So it is, while I understand that optically, the price drop is very significant, but company does have the tools, and we are today backed by the very large amount of resource and reserve. So it does give us the ability to tide out certain such phases, even like my father mentioned, at lower prices. We do have some tools. And the other thing we would like to mention is that Ashapura Group has been in the bauxite business as such for over 20 years now. So we also have a good relationships with many of these customers. So things like, canceling the order or trying to do too much of a unnecessary tactics or negotiation, this kind of situation, we are even if we will do 15 million or tons or something, so we will still be about 8-10% of the China's bauxite import. So we are, quite confident that, in this kind of period also we should able to maintain our volume plan, and, we do have some of the tools to mitigate to some extent the lower prices of bauxite.
Okay. So just consider, suppose general bauxite price is 60 and you told we have premium quality bauxite. So if you can quantify that premium quality is selling at 63 or 65, what premium?
So typically it would be anywhere between $1 to $2.50, depending on how much premium we are offering over the index alumina. So that depends on that. So, but it can be it's not going to be like $5 or something, but can be up to a $2.50 is possible, what we can get.
All right. So with the port upgradations and everything.
So I think we can pause this question. But because the general comment is there probably, but
last question from my side. So we have one source country like Kenya, and we have one customer country is China. So over the years, are we looking for any significant diversion in terms of product mix or geographical mix?
I think that we are open. We are definitely open, and we do have a lot of studies also. But currently, as on today, it is entirely majorly based on the China. But we are open to.
Are we looking?
We can see, like we mentioned, maybe something may come up in Middle East. Even in India, there may be some significant requirement. Canada also has got something now. US also want to restart. All these locations may still see. I know that there are locations nearby, but there may be some. It's too early to comment, but maybe once we reach a certain amount of volume.
Bauxite as well in other products. Are you researching?
Iron ore, for the time being, I can comment on iron ore. We do study things time to time, but our commercial interest currently is limited to bauxite and iron ore in Guinea.
Oh, all right. And when the alumina players ramping up the capacity from China, outside China, by which year we can expect?
I think currently
already started in Indonesia. They have started some activities in Middle East.
So as my father mentioned, I don't know if you all caught that, is Indonesia and Middle East certain, we are seeing some activity. But the point is that fundamentally the smelter capacity needs to come up. The refinery capacity is available, so the smelter capacity would pull up.
I'm asking about smelter only.
You mentioned, okay. So we think that, we should expect maybe over a couple of years something to either come up in Indonesia, Malaysia or Middle East. That's what we are looking at least.
The power arbitrage,
Yeah, Middle East has certain pockets which has a very low power cost, which could make it an ideal location for having a smelter which consumes a lot of power per ton of aluminum production.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question comes from the line of Kriti Tripathi from NVS Brokerage. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Please go
Yeah.
ahead with your
This is Nalin Shah from NVS Brokerage. Can you tell us this? I think in the current 9 months, we have done about 4.77 million export. Considering, the fourth quarter is likely to be, I think, much better. Can you tell us that what is the target for the current year, total exports? You also mentioned about 27-28 to be 15 million tons. So what will be the target for the 26-27 next year?
So good. Thank you, Nalin bhai. Basically, I think for quarter four, at least what I can comment is that we expect it to be a record quarter for us as from a Guinea quarterly export point of view. Exact numbers
Excellent.
obviously
Yeah.
would refrain to share. And like I mentioned, we see a linear progression that, okay, so I think that it would be that, okay, 15 million being year after next year would be somewhere around, halfway between this year and 15. So wherever we close, we
Can we
should
put
see
around,
that
say,
kind of
11.5, 12 million?
Yeah, we hope so. We even hope for more, but I'll not be in a position to say anything. But we are internally very aggressive, for ramping up in this. Basically for us, the quarter four and quarter one are the best quarters. So our entire focus is on execution and volume. Yeah.
Wonderful. Once again, congratulations for doing wonderfully well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question comes from the line of Sameer Patel from Savvy Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. I just wanted to touch upon the debt part. You said most of your capex is done in Guinea. So how do you see the debt over the next 2 years?
We expect at least that the debt is close to its peak or at peak really. However, in the interest of growing the business, we may take little bit of time before we gradually start to retire the debt, because as the volume grows, so will the working capital needs. And like we mentioned, still there is a 20-25% capex left over. While we may be able to manage that entirely from internal accrual, we do think we are close to our peak debt, and definitely we might be here for some time, but we expect maybe that after a year or so, gradually we can start reducing the debt. But currently, we don't see the addition of debt, at least as of now. I don't foresee that there will be a further addition of debt.
Okay, good. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please limit your questions to one per participant. Our next question comes from the line of CA Amitesh Mandovra from Amitesh Mandovra and Company. Please go ahead.
Hello. Thank you for this opportunity. Manan bhai, I have one question for you. Given the current aluminium prices and China demand trend, do you expect aluminium producers to restock the bauxite inventories once again? Has there been any notable aluminium capacity expansion or ramp up in China or globally?
Currently, my impression of the inventory levels of bauxite in China is that while the prices of bauxite are lower, we see that inventory is more or less not increased significantly, or there is a pile of stock or something like that. We think inventory is close to its regular levels, is what it is currently.
This is all-time low.
You can mention that, yeah.
The inventory in China at the moment is all-time low, So Chinese will start buying having new inquiries or new business after that. They're all waiting for this spring festival after the Chinese New Year, because the last information is that this inventory level at Chinese port is all-time low at the moment.
Okay. Even I have the same information. That is why I'm asking, do you expect aluminium producer to restock bauxite inventory in coming quarter?
Yeah, certainly. This is the, as I mentioned earlier, there's also some kind of strategic planning by the large producers. Now again, they have to improve the inventory because normally, they should have the inventory for minimum period of 4 months of their production. Because any kind of eventualities can happen, political, geopolitical, or some kind of climatic, many changes can happen. So then normally, because alumina refinery is such that it is a continuous process industry where you cannot afford to stop for a few days and you restart and all. The restarting cost is so high. That's why they are very particular and very clear about having the sufficient inventory to meet all these challenges.
Okay. And do your long-term contracts include any base or floor price to protect against this current spot price correction in bauxite?
We are linked to the index.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question comes from the line of Krish from Mangal Keshav. Please go ahead.
Hello, good afternoon. It was a great set of numbers. I just have a question on the Indian business. As Indian business has given us support when bauxite prices remain volatile, Indian business can on a consolidated level give support to the overall business. And as there are some sulfuric acid input cost increase over this quarter, how does the Indian business looks forward? And if in the next coming quarters, if it can give some support, if there could be headwinds in the bauxite business.
So the question, I assume, is just on the outlook of the Indian business and its consistency to be maintained. I am genuinely quite excited about our Indian business from a medium term, even not long term, but even medium term standpoint, as we are bringing in many new products, and we are, just bringing many of these products to commercialize. And gradually, I do think that India will remain kind of a business where we continue to add value and improve the sales, work on the import substitute or the kind of products where the technology is very limited in India. And over the long term, we do see, even on the cost side, we are taking many initiatives to continuously reduce the cost. So I think the fact remains that Ashapura Group has seen a lot of volatility in the bauxite business, but our Indian business has always been a source of strength and consolidation for us. And not only will that maintain, but it will also grow quite significantly over the next 2 to 3 years. It just so happens that because Guinea is a large part of our consolidated turnover, so sometimes the visibility remains limited. But I am very bullish on our positioning, our products, and our future product pipeline. Yeah.
So the import cost which we have faced recently would somewhat mitigate over the coming years.
Yes. Yes. We are working on lowering our specific consumption, creating alternate sources, and creating far value-added products which can absorb some of this cost. Of course, yes, the manufacturing as a business in general don't have the overnight kind of the improvements in this thing, but over a long term, India will remain very strong pillar for the company.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Khush Bafna from Bafna Brothers Finance and Property Agent. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir, for this opportunity, and congratulations on a consistent performance. So I have a couple of questions. First was that you have mentioned the Indian business has suffered due to increase in lower margin products. So can you throw some light on the same? I know that you have mentioned on excess cost, but also lower margin increase in Indian business.
Yeah. So we have basically a product portfolio which caters to about 10 industries. We have the four major verticals in our businesses, both through uh, shareholding and directly operating in the standalone company. And across this, even at the very major level, we have about 40, 50 different types of products which we sell across, paint, paper, edible oil, crude oil, steel, non-ferrous metals, construction, foundries, etc. So it so happens that we had a lot more of lower value shipments also, like a kind of some kind of a bulk businesses, etc. in a couple of our businesses. And maybe the higher value products has had a little bit of a lower shipment. So not in full, but definitely to some extent, if I see the lower EBITDA or the lower, results compared to previous quarter, at least I would say that 30% of that, I'm just giving a kind of approximate number, would be also because the matrix has changed. And then I think that this over the year, these things also sometimes averages out that some quarters goes better and some quarters goes in terms of the matrix and some quarters goes this thing. Today, and unfortunately, in terms of from an investor standpoint, we are catering to so many different industries that to highlight every industry specific performance gets difficult. But matrix is something I think it evens out over the years. Structurally, I don't think that matrix will be permanently like, okay, that the lower margin products will come up. Cost increases, yes, of course, more critical. We are working on strategy. Like I think earlier we announced that two of our mines had come into operation. This kind of also activities reduces our cost as we improve our integration. So further such things are happening, and we'll be happy to share it with you as it happens. But we have to definitely work on our cost related part, and we are focused on it to improve that. Yeah.
Thank you. And one more question, sir. This was regarding the related party exposure. I think more than 70% of our loans and advances and around 71% of our investments are to related parties. They have their own auditors, and some of the subsidiaries have been making losses. Could you throw some light on the same?
I think Ashish bhai can comment, and then if required, we can comment further.
Yeah. You are right. I mean, related party transactions are there, but be assured, I mean, it's all within limit and with prior approval of the board, shareholders, wherever it is required. And wherever it is operation need to do that transaction. So loans and advances also well within the limit, and it's complied by each and every law which we are supposed to.
Just operationally also. Today you can see that which is publicly declared information that we have a holding structure for our Guinea business. It involves, subsidiaries from India to UAE and then from UAE onwards to Guinea. This is we have fairly disclosed this thing. It's quite well known. So obviously there are a structure wherein, there is some activity which happens from India to UAE to Guinea, even though it is 100% held by Ashapura, and then vice versa. So even to give you an example, lot of purchases, of materials like capex and engineering items happens through India, which eventually reaches Guinea and things like this. So there are many transactions required, to support the business, but these are ultimately consolidated, most of them within the group itself, and most of them with the 100% subsidiaries or the well-established subsidiaries with the arm's length and relevant documentation, etc. So this is more like the nature of the structure rather than anything else. So you can rest assured that it's well within the requirement, and it's only because of the requirement of the business and the business structure which we carry.
Right, sir. Thank you for clarifying that, and wishing you all the best for a record quarter next year. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Push. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Pranjant, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
I think we can move forward, yeah.
Our next question is from the line of Prasad Kanodia, an individual investor. Please go ahead. Mr. Kanoria, your line has been unmuted. Please go ahead with your question. Sir, as there is no response, can we conclude?
Yes.
I would now like to hand the conference over to Mr. Chetan Shah for closing comments. Over to you, sir.
So I can just closing comments. Just that we would like to say that yes, for the Guinea business, the bauxite pricing has been a setback, but the company remains confident to tide through this time with variety of initiatives and options at its hand. We are also fundamentally optimistic about the nature of the business and that gradually we do expect a price recovery as well. You would like to add that?
Sure. I thought you. Sure. See, all my friends and stakeholders, I'd like to tell you that this business, this reserves, the bauxite reserves, is last for 50 years. And we look at the quarter on quarter, they will give you a fair picture and sometimes unfair pictures. So we want to see that how best we utilize our resources and how best we can bring into the effective business. So this is what we are planning. This thing, it's going to happen. That's now a lot of climatic changes, the geopolitical instability, but the demand of these minerals or demand of the metals is going to remain very high. It's the aluminum metal per se is going on CAGR of the 7%, and it's going to go much higher than that because once the more and more EV production will happen, that will attract the consumption, aerospace, the defense, and many other areas. This metal is going to have a long-term future. So I have only simple things to say to all of you is that we have to see the long-term perspective of this business, not basically on quarter on quarter. However, we appreciate your interest. We appreciate your concern about the Ashapura, and it gives us a lot of motivations and encouragement, to improve on our performance and to keep you in touch. Thank you very much, all of you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you everyone. Thank you everyone. Thanks a lot, and looking forward to meeting you all again after 3 months.
Thank you. On behalf of Ashapura Minechem Ltd, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.